Family mode.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us for today's webinar. It is, of course, an information webinar about the Get Up to Speed program, but because you've invested an hour of your time with us, your well-earned lunch break, I'm also, of course, going to give you some tips about how your business can get up to speed, whether you choose to join the program or not. The program is starting in August, so there's some information right up front. But before I go on, it would be remiss of me to, without introducing myself properly. My name's Yvette Adams, and I am the CEO and founder of the Creative Collective. I've actually started, it should be 5 businesses on screen there. I've sold 2 of them, and I've won lots of business awards. So I've had experience in different industries and in different countries. My accent, as you may be picking up, is actually a New Zealand one, but I lived in the UK for 7 years as well before settling in Australia in 2004. These days, I am a mum of 2, and I absolutely love, though, to work with startups right through to very big companies right here on the Sunshine Coast where we're based and across Australia, and I even do business internationally. Because in this digital age we live in, why not? And all of you, depending on what you do, could potentially be dealing with a national or international market too, which is really exciting stuff. Now you know me, let me give you some background about how this whole program came about. There's an organisation called Broadband today, and they're an amalgamation of over 125 councils across Australia and New Zealand now. So originally they were a bunch of, you could say, the geeky councillors and people within council, economic development departments, etc., who realised that the NBN was getting rolled out and that it spelt great opportunity for people in their area. These days, however, it's got a much more mainstream interest because the NBN is in some areas in Australia already, and it's not far away from being in a whole lot more areas. And people are starting to wonder what this thing is about and what they do about it. So, not surprising that lots and lots of councils are behind Broadband today, which is in turn a major supporter of the Get Up to Speed program. So, how it all works is that the Australian government are, of course, funding the NBN rollout, NBN being the National Broadband Network. They give the money to the NBN Co, but really they're just the engineers. So, they're laying cables and so on across Australia, setting up satellites and so on where they can't. But they need to disseminate information to the everyday Australian, and that's why Broadband today has got involved, because we're trying to, through this program, digitally upskill businesses, community, industry groups, and just everyday Australians. Because let's face it, this stuff is core skills. You know, I've been writing some articles lately, and I've read quite a few too, that suggests that digital literacy is the new financial literacy. That basically means that if you don't have digital skills, it's going to be harder for you to earn money, to get a job, or to make your business be successful, because it is becoming just part of everyday life. Now, I'm not just talking about marketing your business online, I'm talking about running your business efficiently and effectively using digital technologies as well. So let's explore that whole concept a little more about why getting into the digital age is absolutely crucial to business success, to the success of your business. And please note that I will take questions towards the end. So if you have any, please feel free to keep them in mind. And if I don't cover them off, I'd be more than happy to run through them with you. This is the sad reality, people. Businesses are closing. They still are. I don't know about you, but I go around the Sunshine Coast where we're based and I still see a lot of lease signs. Now, the thing is, I've just got back from Silicon Valley, which is the tech capital of the world. It's the area where Facebook and Google and LinkedIn and all those sorts of companies are based. And I tell you what, you don't see one for lease sign over there. They're all going gangbusters. Why are they going so well as compared to Australian businesses? Because they're digitally savvy. You know, the average person in that part of America, not necessarily the whole of America I'm talking about, their digital skills are very high. Social media is normal. It's normal to use it at work. It's normal to promote your business on it. They understand Facebook advertising. They're all doing Facebook advertising. They're all on Twitter. They're communicating to their friends using it. This is just common stuff. Whereas here in Australia, I find I'm going around the place trying to convince people that perhaps looking at these technologies might be a good idea. There's a number of other reasons, though, that are causing businesses to fail, and I wanted to run through some of those with you. You may or may not agree, this is opinion only. I think we're still seeing outfall from the global financial crisis. How many of you would agree that it just hasn't fully recovered yet? There's a few good signs around. If you'd like to raise your hand and participate when I ask questions like that, you can actually click on the red arrow button, which will expand a menu, and then you can click on the hand if I ask yes or no and you'd like to indicate yes. So who here today does feel like the global financial crisis is still having a bit of an impact? Anyone want to raise their hand? Or still finding the hand button? There we go. Some people are putting up their hands. Thank you very much. Good to see. Who believes that this is true and causing businesses to fail? A high Aussie dollar, which is good for some, but really bad for exports and things, isn't it? Is that hurting any of you and your businesses? We've also got, of course, the lower retail sales. Who's really noticed this? I mean, you don't have to go into a shop to buy stuff now necessarily, do you? You can buy just about anything you want online. And I was really excited, actually. One of my favorite shoe stores over in San Francisco, they've got an online store, and guess what? It's got free delivery. So guess where I'll be getting my shoes from now? Higher cost of living. Who's finding this? They're finding the electricity bill is going up, the petrol's going up, and that is having a little bit of an impact on their business. Anyone? Is that the case for? Yes, I see more hands going up. There's also tighter lending by financial institutions. Pre the GFC, if you needed a bit of a loan or you wanted to go and make a bit of an investment, it wasn't that hard to get a loan. These days, it's a lot tougher, so you've really got to be doing it on your own. Now, there's lots of other reasons that you might think businesses are failing from, and I'd be really open to receive your suggestions via text chat, which you're also welcome to send to me at any time today to interact. I'm really into interactive presentations. But the number one thing I think, and I admit I am very biased, is the move to digital. Just think about everything you do in your life. Banking. Do you go online banking now? Holidays. Do you book them online by any chance? Shopping. Has anyone here shopped online lately? What else is there? You can just think about everything. I mean, scrapbooking, you've even got Pinterest and all sorts. Socializing, you've got RSVP and Facebook and things like that. People are doing every aspect of their business online. So if your business isn't doing a lot online, then perhaps it should be. Here's a few casualties of the digital age thus far, and there will be more. In America, there was a lot of talk about disruptions. So basically, companies there are looking for the next industry to disrupt, to move it online, to completely rethink it in the way it operates, and therefore to perhaps mean that some of the old stalwarts that might have been around for hundreds of years will not be able to operate anymore if they do not innovate and digitize. We're seeing a lot of newspapers close because they just can't get the advertising dollars in. People are advertising a lot more online is where their spend's going for marketing. And I guess they just haven't found it as effective as some of the online channels. Encyclopedia Britannica, remember when that used to be a good investment for your children? Nowadays, you just Google it. Kodak, they were a big company, and who would have thought they'd go under, but they just didn't innovate fast enough. And Wow were another big one on the retail scene. And I reckon a big reason they failed was because people were buying the same stuff online. So I don't want to get all morbid on you because it's not usually my style, but I do want to ask you who's next because I don't want it to be you. And if you don't want it to be you, that's why you have to really take a look at this stuff. Now, I get it. In business, you're busy. It's really hard to find the time to do everything you need to do. I totally sympathize. I am the HR person. I'm the IT manager. I'm the marketing person. I wear a lot of hats. I'm lucky I do have a team and they do stuff for me, but I do have to do a lot of the different things myself too and make sure that it all happens. You may feel as a business owner that things are moving pretty damn fast and it's a bit hard to keep up with. Does anyone here today feel like that? That they're struggling because one thing it's this, next thing it's that. It just changes, doesn't it? That's right. So let's go through this little diagram. This is something I prepared to explain to people just how fast it's moving and why we feel like that sometimes. So look, in the 1950s, some of us might even remember computers were invented and they look something like this. Might have taken a couple of people to operate them. These machines might have taken half the room. was another whole 30 years before computers went mainstream. And a guy called Bill Gates, you might have heard of him, made the outlandish statement that one day every household would own a personal computer. Now, I'd love you to text chat me how many computers you have at your house. And actually, let's include all internet enabled devices, and yes, include the kids as well. I'd love to see who, if any of you could break our record. Our record was 18 when we did this at a live event once. So, one computer was what we laughed at. Now some of us have 18. I don't know what my tally is, but I think it would be close to 10. Moving on while I'm waiting for those text chats to come through, took another 20 years for internet to go mainstream. And then, of course, we had the reign of email. And everyone thought email was the best thing since sliced bread. But now, I wonder if any of you hate email. I know I struggle with it. I get so much of it. To be honest, I find it a really ineffective form of communication. There are other options, and I'm constantly asking my staff to use the other options. And you know what? That's going quite well for me. Not so many emails fly around the office anymore. We've found other ways to collaborate and communicate. The reign of Google was another one that came about, and if you notice here, this was in less than a decade. So the time frames are shortening for major technology disruptions to take place. And Google was all powerful. They've made movies about it. They could do no wrong. They were earning so much advertising dollars until a company called Facebook came along. And now, you know what? In America, there's a massive talent war where Facebook's stealing from Google staff and Google's stealing from LinkedIn staff and all this kind of things going on. They're trying very hard to innovate. Google's got their Google Plus social network, but it isn't a patch still on Facebook's over 1 billion users now. So right now they're sitting in the hot seat. But who knows what will come next? These things change, as I said. But I will tell you of where it's all going and why there's a phone on the screen is everything Facebook and Google and all those other companies are focused on right now is mobile. That is the big one. And I've had that firsthand from Google and Facebook staff. They know that more and more people have an internet-enabled phone. They know that more and more people are accessing the internet on their phone to retrieve information, to search for products and services. And for you as a business owner, that's really crucial information. If you are not positioning well online and you are not turning up okay on a mobile and interacting with your prospective clients, you're missing out on business. So let's explore 13 more trends for 2013. I know we're halfway through 2013 now, but these trends so far are holding up and they still ring true. A lot of people, when it comes to this online thing, they say, oh yeah, but I'm so behind the eight ball. I've got too much catching up to do. Well, here's something that I hope will excite you. Half the world is about to get online. It's a pretty out there statement, isn't it? Think about it. The thing is, India, Asia, the rest of Asia, South America, Middle East, Africa, countries like that are coming online at a rate of knots. So if your product or service could potentially be sold to them, there's a massive opportunity. It is not too late. This thing is just getting started. The thing that has matured is the more westernized countries. So, America's at something like 80% of their population now have the internet, and Australia's at about 70 and increasing. And so, more and more people coming online. The other trend is, the proliferation of smartphones and apps. I don't know how many of you use apps for everyday stuff, and they continue to produce them. And there's apps for all sorts of wonderful stuff. More online retail. The online retail sales keep going through the roof. So if you could sell online or you are selling online, if you're not getting enough of a slice of that action, that's something you should be totally taking the opportunity of. Social media will keep exploding. It is not going away, guys. It's not a fad. It's not an option, I don't believe, to do it. It's a case of which one you do and how well you do it. And we certainly help a lot of companies with that. Another trend is that there's more sharing. So I don't know if you've noticed these buttons on websites, but by putting them on your website, you basically turn it into a sales page that people can click on and share to their networks. Now, some people have very big social networks, so by just doing that, you can get some wonderful traction. I put up a blog post last week, for instance, and of course I made sure I had these share buttons. I was gobsmacked last night when I logged in and saw that one of the one of the blog posts had 250 people had shared it on Facebook alone, another 40 or so on LinkedIn, lots of comments, lots of interaction. Today, an article went out on Google and I got two of the Google guys commenting, which I just think is fantastic. Now, I'll tell you what, this has not happened overnight, but I can show you how to make this stuff happen in the Get Up to Speed program. It is possible. I'm here to tell you it is. More online video. This is a great thing about the NBN. National Broadband Network means faster internet, but it also means more bandwidth. It means that you will be able to watch a video and it won't just turn over very slowly and you'll get very frustrated and go off and get a cup of tea. That means you could be marketing using video, or you could be leveraging off people who have really big networks. Video is a great communication medium, particularly if you've got something that's hard to explain, you want to get it across in a short, sharp, concise way. Video is fabulous. More cloud. There's been resistance, years gone by of people moving to the cloud. I think because they didn't understand it, and I think because we didn't have the infrastructure to support it. We do now. We've also seen natural disasters come and sweep through Australia where people have lost data and realised how powerful it is and how much value it adds to their business. In America, they're talking a lot about big data. So it's not about just capturing data, it's what you do with that data and how powerful that becomes. So as a result of all this and a whole lot more, is cloud computing. So in the program, I basically challenge you to perhaps look at moving your business online, maybe your account system, your project management system, operations manuals. There's all sorts you can do online if someone is to show you how. And it really increases your efficiency. Just last week I had a key staff member hand in the resignation, and whilst that's always a blow to a business, I can get up and running fairly quickly because I do have great systems online, and I've basically engaged other people and I've farmed out that work, and there's already procedures on how to do it. So there's not a lot of training time required from me. Here's another one, more transparency in business. So because of social media, whether you like it or not, whether you're participating or not, people are talking about you online, as you can see from those two young ones. So you, as an employee or business owner, actually need to tune in and at least observe it, if not respond to it. You can't get away with offering a bad customer service anymore, in short. People will talk about it, and it can have massive ramifications, whether you're on social media or not. Trend number 9 is that there's more ads infiltrating mobile. Again, I've hung out with people from Facebook, and they are very purposely introducing these sponsored stories, promoted posts, to get them into your newsfeed, because previously when we've had ads, they're over on the right-hand side of Facebook. You can't see them on a mobile. They know how many people are using the mobile apps to access Facebook, and they are therefore promoting people on there. You can also see over on the left, there's a phone and there's little pop-ups showing free stuff. So location-based marketing is also fantastic for mobiles. It's huge in America. If you have a business that you want people to walk into and know that is there, and even loyalty schemes, there's some fantastic softwares that I can show you through this program. Again, trend number 10, more use of social media tools. So I think a lot of people are getting up and running on social media. They're realizing they have to keep an eye on it, and there's a fair bit of activity. People want to talk to them. What do you know? So you can use systems like this one. This one's called Hootsuite, and you can actually schedule messages to go out in advance. You can schedule messages to go out to multiple networks, and you can monitor what's been said. So it doesn't mean social media has to take so much time, even if you're a small business owner. This sort of tool, once you're introduced to it and shown through it, actually helps out a whole lot. We've already talked about big data, but digesting data is more and more important. It's what you do with it, as I said, and tools like Google Analytics, a free software from Google, also very, very important, and one that we explore in quite a lot of detail in the program. This one I really like, everyday influencers. You could all be everyday influencers. I love that the internet has leveled the playing field, and on things as simple as Facebook, you can go ahead and set up a page like this woman I know, Sam Shazam, has. Her page is called Aldi Mum. It's all about being a mum who likes the supermarket Aldi. Yes, really. Would you look at how many likes she has? 31,000 people liking her, but 25,000 at the time I took the snapshot actually talking about the business as well. So do you think Aldi approached her and do a little bit of business with her? Sure they do. And finally, more broadband access. This is the enabler. This is how it's all happening. It's a big trend. It's one you need to take note of. So with knowing all of this, how can your business harness these trends? As I said, I want to give you some information to go home with today, whether you choose to engage in the program or not. So here we go. Strategy number 1, you must have a website, but don't just do it for desktop or laptop anymore. That is not good enough. It needs to look good and work really well on a tablet and a mobile. We'll let you know how to do that in the program. Strategy number 2, you must get social media savvy and quick. You need a strategy, a policy, you need training, you need to keep updated. A lot of people skip straight to number 5. They just throw up a Facebook page or some other network and they go, that's it, I'm doing social media, yahoo. But then they're usually the first ones to complain that they're not getting the results. Oh, Facebook doesn't even work. What a waste of time, because they haven't done those things at the start. They haven't thought about who they want to reach, how they want to reach them, how they're going to measure success. Are they gunning for sales or leads, or what are you trying to do here? Because all of that should dictate exactly which networks you set up on. You know, I've met people who are fully promoting their businesses on Facebook when the target market is corporate women, and they should be on LinkedIn, not Facebook, to do that kind of thing. So through the program, we spend quite a lot of time on social media. Number 3, you must review your existing marketing mix and reallocate funds that are not working for you. In most cases of most people we work with, we discover that they're doing yellow pages or advertising in newspapers or things that just aren't working. So if we can be the catalyst for them to actually have a look and work out what isn't working and just spend a little bit in some of these digital activities, they often find they get good results. I can't tell you which one would suit you. This is, we take you through what each of them are so you can come to your own conclusions. But gosh, people have got some great results through committing to this. Strategy number 4, if you could sell online or take bookings online, you must. It's high time, people. People expect it. If you've got a services-based industry, you should be offering this. You know, it annoys me that my hair salon doesn't have it. It annoys me that the tradies I'm dealing with don't have the ability to book in and ask for a quote, because I'd use it all the time. And yet the funny thing is, I'm pretty sure hairdressers would love more appointments and the tradies would love to do more quotes if it's going to lead to more work. So this used to be an expensive and big process. It's not anymore with the technology that's out there. So in the program, we have a whole lesson just on this. Strategy 5, you must understand how to position yourself well online. You all know that if you search something in Google, you get a list of results. You get Google Places, now called Google Plus Local Results. You can turn up in these places if you do pay per click, and further down there's search engine optimization. In the program, we explain how you can get your business in these positions, which should make a big difference to your business. Number 6, you must understand your stats and do something with them. So not just Google that we've already talked about, but what about Facebook? You know, here's a screenshot from the Creative Collective. And at the time, this is a good wee while ago now, I was pointed out that it had a massive spike in the total weekly reach. And that was great because I could see things were working. But if I hadn't even checked it, I wouldn't have even had any idea. We talked about monitoring and managing your online reputation. Here's that Hootsuite screenshot again. That's that same program. So you can see here I've got pending tweets. This is what I was going to send out. I'm monitoring my name. I can see people have actually direct sent me information, and it's wonderful. Strategy 8, you must understand your advertising options. You know, online advertising can be very good if you get it in the right place at the right time at the right price. So look at banner advertising, look at placements in e-marketing. There are so many options. You as a business owner need to know what your options are, and again, allocate some funds. Have a go. You must understand who your competition are. Well, this is a funny one. I often meet businesses and I'll say, who are your competitors? And they'll go X, Y, and Z. And I'll say, oh yeah, why are they your competitors? And they'll say, oh, because they're down the road, or they sell a similar product, or they're about a similar price point. And I'll go, okay, that's nice. And I'll go away, and using our professional software, which I'll show you guys on the program, I'll go and do some analysis. And I'll often come back with a list and go, well, who are these people? And at that point, sometimes those business owners go, I've never heard of them. And I say, well, it's about time you got to know them, because they're dominating the online channels for the stuff that you should be found for. And they're actually your main competitors, is what I would suspect. So that is a really important thing to understand. Once you position well online and beat your competitors, you can get so much work from that. People keep saying that the digital wave is coming and that we should get ready, like with the NBN is switched on. But I usually like to argue in summary that the wave is already here. So here's your choices as a business owner. Number one, you can nearly drown in information, trying to keep your business going, all this stuff because you're just not working effectively. You're just busy being busy. And you know what? You may go under. You may actually go under or barely keep your head above water. Or you may be on a wave, but you may be about to take a fall because, it doesn't take too many things, one more competitor in the market, someone a bit more clever than you online, and you're going over. You could get some skills and training and actually ride the wave, which is enjoyable, but you can come off at any time. My wish for you in this analogy is that you've actually got jet skis. And I believe the Get Up to Speed program can give you the jet ski. It gets you out in front of the wave. You understand what the information is and what you can do with it, and you're confident and you're feeling good and business is going great. That is my wish for you. And I've seen this happen with so many businesses. I can't tell you how cool it is to witness that. And I'll share with you just a couple of testimonials in a moment. So with all that in mind, all these trends, all these options, the hardest thing is not always knowing what to do. It's in what order to do it or exactly how to do it. So the program is fantastic because we step you through it and we keep you accountable every step of the way. I want to mention first up that we do have a really good proven track record now. The great thing about if you're thinking about the program is you won't be the first person to do it. We're not cutting our teeth on you. We now know really what we're doing. We had our first intake May last year, so about this time last year. Then we ran another one at the end of last year, and we've just finished our third. So we've now actually helped over 500 people across Australia. Which has been just awesome. And we've had businesses of all walks of life. You wouldn't believe how different they've been. So here's what those 500 businesses have had. It's a 12-week program, very purposely, because I've delivered 6-month programs before, and I know it's just too long for businesses to commit. But any shorter, and there just wouldn't be enough time to teach you all the stuff we need to teach you. So we ask you for 3 months of your time, but not a huge amount and not all of that time. You can do this around children, around work. It's very, very flexible. 12 webinars. I'll tell you about each of these things in a moment, but I'll just whiz through what is the entire program comprised of. Then there's 12 lessons. Then there's emails sent to you to remind you to jump in and do the learning. There's a private Facebook group, and that is essentially the program and an online resource portal. So what will you learn? Well, in week 1, we take you through your online toolbox. So we basically make sure you have got everything you need to succeed in this program. Some people go, I've already got all this stuff sorted, but when they go through the lesson, they go, oh, actually, I hadn't updated my virus protection software for a while, and actually, I haven't really been doing backups, and it kind of reminds them of some pretty important stuff. For the ones who are really beginner, it will make sure that you are in a place where you can participate in the program and understand the terminology and so on. The next week, we look at your current digital presence, if any. If you're a new startup, obviously you won't have a lot, but if you have been in business for a little while, we want to know, do you have a website? What are your competitors? How do you rank? Do you have social media? What's going on? So we'll get you to do a little bit of an initial analysis. Week 3, we look at website development. So this lesson is really important for people who are looking to build a website or revamp their existing website. Now, again, a lot of people come to this lesson, they say, I've already got a website. I really like it. It's fine. I don't need to do this lesson. But I always say, have an open mind. Just look at it anyway. And you know what? A lot of those people go, oh my gosh, I'm missing all these key things. I don't think my web developer's as good as I thought they were. And I now know more than them. And when I'm asking them questions, they don't know the answers. And I'm not saying that to get web developers out of business, but I am saying it so that you as a business owner have the right website for your business and you know what it needs. And there have been cases where people have moved on to new web developers because they've realized that their current one was holding them back. Week 4, we look at selling online, so both retail and services through booking forms and so on. So if that is something you want to do, you'll love that lesson. We spend a whole 2 weeks on SEO, search engine optimization, how to get your website to the top of Google and other search engines. We first look at on the page, and then the next week off the page. What can you do off the page and on the page to improve your website's visibility on the site, on the search engines, I should say. Week 7, social media for the individual. So again, people go, oh, I've already got a Facebook profile set up and all that, but sometimes they don't have privacy settings. They don't understand friends lists. There's a fair bit to it. So we take you through that. Week 8, social media for business. Once we've got the individual sorted, we can move on to business. And you know what? We have had social media managers do our program and who are very good at what they do, and they knew a lot of stuff, but there were items in those lessons that they said, guys, I didn't know that, and it was such helpful information. I'm so glad I did the program. So again, it's about keeping an open mind. Week 9, pay per click. So these are strategies where you pay to get clicks. There's lots of ways you can do that. So we explore those in that lesson. How much do you pay per click? Where can you position it? How do you reduce the cost per click and so on? Week 10, is email marketing dead? No, it's not. So we cover it in week 10. We introduce you to bunches of email marketing systems you may like to take a look at, talk about best practice, and a whole lot more. Week 11, we look at other online advertising options. And finally, we do an evaluation from week 2 to week 12. How far have you come? So we're keeping you accountable, and you will come as far as you want to put in the time. If you actually go through these lessons and implement what we're suggesting as we go, you'll get some phenomenal results. We've had lots of people who have. So to go into the components a little bit more, so they're the topics, and we do a webinar on each of those topics. So there's 12 one-hour webinars in total. We hold them weekly on a Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. If you can't get on for any reason, don't worry. If that time doesn't suit or you've just got something on a particular Tuesday, we record all of them so you can sit down and watch them whenever suits you. We upload them to the portal and you just go ahead and download them. We have had people who've got quite behind and then they've gone ahead in the weekend and just bashed through a whole lot. So that's totally possible. If you are on the road because you travel for work, you're on holiday, don't worry. There's an iPhone app, an iPad app, Android and BlackBerry. You can totally join in the webinar just using your mobile, even from Italy, like we've had people do. The lessons are what you work through online. So we have actually changed this a little bit from previous years. Previously, we sent you an email lesson, but we have got the most amazing learning management system now, and you will actually go through bit by bit doing little online quizzes. So you can jump in and do a whole lot or just do a little bit, and you can do it on a tablet or on your phone, and we're pretty sure you'll like to learn in that bite-sized, digestible way. The private Facebook group is a component of the program that we established for a bit of support, but it actually turned into probably one of the most valuable aspects of the program. You can see here on the screenshot as of today's date, there's 350 of the 500 people we've taken through the program are now joined. Now, I know there's a lot of Facebook groups out there. I belong to a whole lot myself. You can see some of them over on the left there. But the difference between other groups and our group is, one, you can't get into this group unless you've done the program, so it's exclusive. And two, when people have done the program, they have a really much higher level of knowledge. And in that way, you don't feel silly asking the question because you know that what level of knowledge everyone has. You'll find if you join this program, some of the intakes 1, 2, and 3 will have encountered those same problems or issues, and they may well help you so you can form some great friendships and support. Apart from that, there's a lot of great business networking goes on in this group, and you know you're working with a like-minded person who understands what affiliates are, who knows how to put together a good email, who has a good website, so that your affiliate arrangement's going to go a lot better. So yeah, fantastic area. If you have a question at any time, you just pop it on. We've got mentors and all sorts that also answer them in there. Now, this is the Get Up to Speed program website. The URL, if you want to check it out yourself, is getuptospeed.com.au. And once it's not set up yet because you won't be a member, but once you are a member, you'll get access to our online resource portal. And you'll be able to access and do your learning at any time just by going to the website and clicking on login. It'll take you straight to the portal. So it's super easy to work with. Now, this portal screenshot here, it will look different by the time you do the program. We are, as I said, working on a new learning management system, but it will have a lot of the same headers. So when you arrive, it gives you a welcome. It'll show you what's the latest resources have been updated. It'll remind you when the next webinars are on. It'll have the lessons in there and what progress you're up to. Are you 50% completed the program? Are you 20%? And so on. It gives you information on how to access a mentor, because as part of the program, you actually get to have free, that's right, totally free meetings with mentors. Now, those mentors might be in person, they might be on the phone, or they might be on Skype. Those people might be in your area. We've got them all over Australia, or they might be, doesn't matter where they are, if you're on Skype. We have a whole list of them, and once you become a registered program participant, you'll get access to that, and you will see that they're not all digital specialists. We do have digital specialists on there, but we also have HR people, general business people, IT people, marketing people. So if anything is holding you back in your business and you want to sort it out so that you can continue with the program and you can get the results from the program, they're there to help you for free. Now, some of these people would be paid easily $200, $250 an hour for their time. So it's a pretty good investment for the program. You could access them as much as you like. Having said that, they are volunteers, and we need to respect the fact if they say no. So you kind of negotiate with them. Sometimes people find they meet a mentor once, they give them so many things to do, they go away and they're really busy and don't need to see them again for a while anyway. Others meet up for a sort of regular meeting once a week or once a month. So who are the trainers? You'll be pleased to know it's not just me. You get to access all sorts of different people, and like life, you'll connect with some more than others, and some you'll be really seeking that information. But I'm a big believer in bringing together specialists. That's what the Creative Collective is. It's a collective of creative types. So I'm pleased to have Zoe Wyatt here. She is one of Australia's leading social media speakers. She has 60,000 Twitter followers. She has 100,000 YouTube views. These are not statistics that the average person can claim. There are plenty of people out there saying that they're a social media specialist, but, I dare challenge you to go and look on their social networks and see just how many followers and how much interaction they actually have. Zoe is very knowledgeable. She goes to America all the time. She's very good on Pinterest, Facebook, video marketing, but she knows all of the social networks well, and she gets fantastic results, both for herself, she walks her talk, and also for our many clients. Paul Barr's there. He's our SEO specialist, so he'll take you through the SEO lessons. He's been in internet marketing since the early 90s. He's been on stage that long as well. There's not too much I've ever asked him about SEO that he doesn't know. He has a really engaging and fun way of taking webinars, and he just tells it how it is. He gives you it straight. No fluffy stuff, no extra stuff, just what you need to know. So I'm a big fan of that. And then there's myself. So I take the website design development, the cloud computing lessons, and other things that are more sort of general. I'm sort of at the taking the lessons at the start and at the end. So you've got that continuity. Your concierge, if you like. Finally, we have the following key personnel you may deal with in the course of getting involved with the program. Elise Riley, the first one there, she's a pretty important person. She is the program coordinator. So if you have any questions at any time, we value customer service so much. We actually have a dedicated person there to answer the call, answer the email, and make sure you're okay and you're progressing in your learning. Next up, we have Glenn. Glenn's been with me for 3 or 4 years, so there's not too much in the world of online that he doesn't know from hanging out with me. So he's a great one to assist with anything along those lines. And then Anthony, he's our Gen Z kid who is a tech specialist. He knows gadgets, he knows trends, and there's not too many technical things that people ask on the webinars. He's usually the facilitator or in the hangout that don't get answered by Anthony. So enough from me. I would have liked to have had some people on today to actually tell you in their words how the program's been. I haven't managed to achieve that, though I can tell you that they will be at some events coming up, which I'll tell you about in a moment. So I'll just tell you a little story about a couple of them, and some of you may even know these people. This is Cassie Head. She's from Rainbow Beach in Queensland. Her comments about doing the program was that she thought she was actually doing okay. So good on her for signing up for the program. She thought, if I'm going to learn a few things, that'll be cool. She didn't actually think she would learn that much. But as she got into the program, she realized she didn't know what she didn't know. Remember that old adage? And she discovered there was a whole lot she had to learn. She has learned so much. She's now a very active part of social networks, which previously she wasn't. She's getting business from being active on them. She's got a clear path for marketing her business, which is a campground at Rainbow Beach. And I love her marketing. She's got a really innovative way of doing it, and people respond really, really well to it. Just to show you the diversity of the people who have done our program, here's another one. This is Mary Schloss, and she's from Kingaroy, so, rural Queensland, and she runs the Kingaroy Garden Centre. She's in her 60s, and we've had people in their 70s do the program, by the way. She has adult children, and she admits that when she started the program, her digital skills are really quite limited. But take my head off to Mary. She's one of my favorites. She has created her own website. She just about blew me down with a feather when she told me that that's what she'd done with the information from the program, because actually that's not what we intended for the program. We kind of give you information about what website systems exist, what the pros, what the cons are. But Mary just took it upon herself to select one and go ahead and make it work. And she did it, and it looks fantastic. Go ahead and Google Kingaroy Garden Centre to see what she did all by herself, all as a result of the program. She now does e-marketing campaigns, but the biggest thing that she loves is that she knows more about this stuff than her kids, because she used to have to ask them for everything. How do I do this on my phone? What about Facebook? What do I do? And now she's just all over it. So it's fantastic. If you want to, go on the Creative Collective, Get Up to Speed website, click on testimonials. There's a whole lot more people on there, and we're loading up a whole lot more today. We get amazing testimonials every other day. It's such rewarding work, and we don't get it for no reason. We get it because the program is that good. So I'm sure you want to know, out of all of this, how much this thing costs. Well, if you actually get in there before 30th of June, you'll save $100, so it's only $395. $395 for all that stuff I've told you about, the Facebook group, the access to mentors. So I've already told you are worth a couple of $100 an hour, most of them. So if you do 2 of those, you've got your money back. You've got all the content, so the webinars every week, the recordings if you want them, the online resource portal. You've got the actual lessons and the quizzes. And the great thing, and the reason we've made it register before 30th of June, is it's actually a tax write-off. So you get to, include this in your business expenses before the financial year is out. But do get in if you're interested to get that special. So how do you register? Well, you just go to the website, getuptospeed.com.au, and once you get there, you can click on the find out more and go ahead and register. I will admit the registration form is kind of long. There's a reason for that. We have previously offered this program as part of an accredited unit, and we had to capture a lot of it. We do find by gathering information about you and getting a good profile from the start, it helps us to understand who you are and how we can support you. So that's why we ask a lot of questions. Once you do register, so you can go ahead and register straight after this if you want to, you'll actually get an automatic email. You'll get details on how to get into the group, and you can get in there today and start making friends and doing business and saying, hey, I'm part of intake 4, and I'm sure you'll get welcomed. And you can actually start accessing the resources from past intakes. So we'll update them. We always do, and they always need updating because this stuff changes so much. But you can actually get in there and start doing webinars and looking at the e-lessons. So if you want to get started, if you're super keen, you can right now. But the access to the full dynamic stuff and the updated stuff won't actually be till August. So you can register now, and we'll let you know closer to the time when it's all about to kick off. So if you just want to register, put your foot on a space and then forget about it, you can do that too. Now, we've met online just now, but I'd love to meet you in person or my colleagues. I won't be at all of these events, but I'll be at a fair few of them. We're actually cruising around the place soon. They are Queensland places. Unfortunately, we haven't managed to secure any in New South Wales, Victoria, WA, or other states. We are working on it for future intakes, and if you know anyone there who would help us make those happen, be more than happy to go to those places. But all of those events are free to attend. I recommend, whether you register or not, if you are just even a little bit interested, please come along to one of these, and you will meet in person people from the area who have done the program. You'll hear from VIP dignitaries from the area. For instance, on the Sunshine Coast, the mayor of the Sunshine Coast is going to be at our event because he thinks what we're doing is amazing, and he wants to get behind it. So that's fantastic. getuptospeed.com.au/events. Go ahead and register. They're all totally free. We even feed you. We give you sandwiches and tea and coffee. You get to do a bit of business networking, and it's just a bit of a fun event. They're on of the evening, 5:30 till 8. We'd love to see you there. Now, even if you do register, good idea to come because it'll remind you what this is all about. You might just hear a few new things or hear things differently and or ask any questions you may have, because it's really important to us that you know how to get the most out of the program and you know what you're signing up for. So that's it, guys. I've now taken you through. I hope you've got some good value out of getting on today, both in tips and trends and just understanding what the program is all about. So now I've allocated about 15 minutes. If you would like to raise your hand, I'll just place all the hands down now. And if you do, I'll unmute you and you can ask me whatever you want. It could be about a trend, it could be about something else related to this world that you'd love to ask me while you've got me, or about the program. Does anyone want to ask a question? Usually this is what happens. People are shy until one asks and then everyone wants to ask. So come on, who wants to be the first one? I can always just unmute you and pick on people. I've been known to do that too. Well, I can actually see one person on there that I wouldn't mind getting to speak. I've got Lynn Wilbraham from the Gympie Regional Council, and Lynn's been great in helping us bring the program to Gympie. Lynn, are you there with me?
I am. Can you hear me?
Sure can. So
Oh, good.
I'm hoping you're excited that we're bringing the program to Gympie this time round.
Definitely. And particularly since we've got Cassie, she's definitely a very good ambassador for our region as well. So that's excellent. Thank you.
No worries. And what are you most excited about bringing the program to the region? Do you see a need for it there?
Yeah, and it ties in really, really nicely with a whole lot of other programs that we're running as well. And just demystifying the process, because I don't know about you, but I get very, very confused about all the options out there. So hopefully this will help with that.
Yeah, I think that definitely will, and that's a comment we get back a lot is clarity, because at the end they've produced a website plan so they can take it to a website developer or use that to build it themselves, or a digital marketing plan so they know actually how they're going to market their business really cheaply, really effectively, and exactly what tools and all that kind of stuff. So that clarity is, yeah, worth its weight in gold, really.
Yeah, and even from a council perspective, we've just launched our brand new website, so we're looking at how to get that out there effectively too, so it'll help.
Cool. Sounds like you might be taking on a few tips yourself, Lynn, when you
Yes,
get involved in the program. Cool. Well, thanks so much for supporting it, and we're really looking forward to coming to Gympie in a few weeks.
no worries.
Okay, I have another question in here from Jane. She said, "What is the split of focus in the program B2C and B2B?" Just so everyone knows what that means, B2C is business to consumer and business B2B is business to business. We don't focus on either, but we do give options. So when we talk about Facebook, for instance, Jane, we'll talk about how it's typically a business to consumer network. So that if that's who you're trying to target, Facebook might be a better market than others. And we talk about how, for instance, LinkedIn is a B2B. So we actually cover both. And we just give lots and lots of case studies from both sides of the fence, from lots of different industries, from lots of different regions. So, and we can customize it too. Sometimes when people ask us a question, say, yeah, but what about my industry? Usually I've got something on recall that I've seen or done before, so I can give you a really specific example if it's just not gelling for you. So does that answer your question? Jane has just text chatted that in, which any of you are welcome to do. She says, yes, thanks. Fabulous. And Jane, I'm curious to know, where are you based? Where have you logged in from today? Brisbane. Fantastic. Just down the road, not so far away. Okay, Jeffrey's got a question, so I'll just unmute him. G'day, Jeffrey. Thanks for getting on today.
Hey mate, how are you?
I'm awesome. How are you?
Good to hear from you. Hey, where can I is there a link where I could share this the Get Up to Speed program for you? Because I'll spread it on my network and see what I can do for you as well.
Oh, we'd love that, Jeffrey. I'll tell you what, because I don't have your email, I'll send you a flyer, a press release, social media posts, everything in a kit ready to go on email just after I get off this. How about that?
Yeah, sounds good, Yvette. All right, that's good.
Awesome. Thank you so
Thanks,
much.
man. Bye. Bye.
Always so supportive up there in Cairns, Jeffrey is. Anyone else want to ask me a question, or we can wind it up? You probably want to get back, have a bite to eat, and get back into it, I presume. Last chance. Okay, guys. Well, thank you so much for getting on today. I really hope that you'll join us for one of the live events or the program indeed. Just register and a whole lot of information will be made available to you. Michael has just actually popped in a last minute question saying, give us some secrets from Silicon Valley. Wow. Do you know what, Michael? I've got so many. I'm going to run a webinar just on that on the 3rd of July. So if you want to register for that webinar, it's totally free. It's on at lunchtime. Go onto our website, thecreativecollective.com.au/events and register. And I'm going to show pictures from inside Facebook and inside LinkedIn and tell you all about the amazing people I met and all my secrets. Okay, cool. All right, guys, I'll wrap it up. You guys need to get up to speed. Please help me spread the word. Thanks so much for getting on today, and I look forward to welcoming you into the program real soon. See you.